Welcome back to the Homegrown Nerds podcast.
It is a cold day out.
It is. It is a very cold day out. I am glad I haven't had to go outside yet.
You lucky soul.
I will in about an hour and a half.
You shall suffer like the rest of us.
Cheers to that. So, I gave you homework this week.
You did. I don't appreciate having homework after several years of not having homework.
Yeah, but this homework was worth it.
For the most part, yeah.
This homework was, I have recently read a series, the Red Rising trilogy.
By Pierce Brown.
Great series. And I've been trying to get my friends to listen to it. And I finally said, no, you're going to listen to this. I got him the audiobook and had him listen to it.
I had no choice in the matter.
So now, first impressions. By the way, spoilers ahead.
Oh,
in case you weren't
We're going spoilers?
aware. We're going spoilers.
Okay.
Because you can't fully talk about this book without spoilers.
Very true.
Okay. Now go ahead.
First impressions. Reading the first few chapters, it felt like any other dystopian type of book. Heroes in the shithole, and you basically have to watch him rise through the ranks and yada yada. Hunger Games, Ender Game, whatever you call the darn thing. And I was just kind of listening to it for the longest time, just seeing how it would progress.
Yep.
He kind of went into a darker part. And I was like, the main character, Darvo, is such an idiot.
Yes. He does have his sense of naivety.
Yeah. Anger I can relate to, but he was just kind of two-dimensional for a long time.
Yep.
But then something happened.
Mm-hmm.
And when things changed for me specifically, it was when Titanus was revealed.
When Titus?
Titus.
Yes.
When you found out he was a red.
Yep.
That's when I started having a different point of view. And that's when I discovered that's when Darvo started changing.
Yes.
Arthur took his sweet time, but...
He had to work into it. He really had to build on the character and then just roll forward with it. And it was... The character went through quite a journey.
Yeah. Because I thought it was going the typical hero journey.
Which is what all the books do to some extent.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more depth to the characters that makes it all the more invested.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're like, how is this gonna go wrong before it goes better?
Yeah.
Is it going to go better?
And he decided to kill Titus, and I was like, oh, you should not have done that.
Yes. And that is the main thing I love about this book and these books in general. He learns.
Yeah, for once.
So instead of a character constantly repeating past mistakes,
or becoming Vox Machina, like almost graduating to it with no harsh.
Yeah. He makes those mistakes. He has failures in leadership. And they show first his failures at trying to lead House Mars.
Mm.
And then his success at leading House, I want to say Renegade, but just being the Reaper.
Yeah.
As leading as the Reaper.
And Reaper was very well known for being a ruthless killer.
Yes.
Which he was very ruthless.
Oh yes, he's quite, I wouldn't say super bloodthirsty. He's not a Titus level of bloodthirsty, but he definitely enjoys, maybe not enjoys battle, but he definitely solves a lot of his problems through use of force. Well,
when you're mining away and you have to basically fight for what you got, it's understandable.
Yeah, it's completely understandable where the character comes from, and that's the point. You're not sitting there going, why did he make that decision? That makes no sense for his character. No, he makes a decision and you're like, I hate it. I hate it a lot, but it makes sense. It makes sense where he's coming from.
I wasn't even like that. I was like, are you ain't stupid?
Yeah. And then for me, the character's journey from lowly miner at the bottom of Mars to being an iron gold is an insane journey.
Yeah.
To take someone on.
And it also likes to develop because it took several months. This entire game, as the Golds would put it, took several months.
Yes.
So it wasn't just like that. It was, you had to drudge through it. You had to go through all the hardships and everything.
Yep. As seen by the Jackal.
Very surprised by that Jackal.
Yeah. The Jackal's interesting. But there were some good moments in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Mustang's great.
For the longest time, I thought when they teamed up and they were gathering the forces, I had the sickest feeling that she was going to betray him because she was in the position to
do
betray
so.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
It surprised me when she didn't.
Nope. Yep. Yes, that was a good time. All right. So now I gotta ask. First, what is your favorite character?
Servo.
I knew it. Severo. Severo is a lot of people's favorite character.
Honestly, for me, he was the most relatable.
Yes, he is the most relatable, and he only gets more so.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you what, third book.
Does he lives that long?
Maybe.
Oh god. Oh no! I only read the first book. No.
I'm just saying the third book, it just hits you.
Okay.
So many good lines from him that I can't share yet because you gotta listen to books 2 and 3.
Yeah, don't spoil things for me. We'll spoil things for the audience, but not me.
Yes. And if you hadn't read the Red Rising trilogy, nothing we've said so far is really spoiler based. There is some spoilers involved in there, but we haven't reached total spoiler territory.
Mm-hmm.
Not until we talk about Pax Au Telemanus.
That lovable with the goof.
Pax Au Telemanus. Anyway, if you haven't read or listened to, I recommend listening to the audiobook, as the voice actor does a prime job of just switching between the characters, just directing and bringing you on a journey with him. He does such a good job with it that I am amazed. And he is one of the few people that can hold up a consistent Irish accent. It's just impressive.
Tim Gerard Reynolds.
Tim Gerard Reynolds?
Yes. That's who narrated it.
He does a fantastic job. Does he not?
I can't do better than that.
I love his voice.
And the fact that he can switch off of it with the gold voice.
Just like a drop of the hat, go from the deep, gruff, I can't even do it. Like, I can't even do it to show, to the high lingo of the gold.
Such a high lingo of so many good prime golds.
Yes, 'tis prime.
I hate doing that voice.
The high, overarching voice.
And then you go down to the Bloody Dam.
The Bloody Dam. He's good.
Yeah.
So, as I was saying, I could speak his praises quite a bit. Go listen to it. It is a journey. It is a rough journey.
Yeah.
You haven't gotten into books 2 and 3.
No, I haven't.
But they're just as good.
Well, the fact that he chose that one house.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he was going to do it, but I didn't expect it that fast.
Mm-hmm. So, pick up book 1, listen to it. Great book. Love it. Like, to death.
It will take a while to get into, but once you hit that certain point.
First book is slow at first. Very slow.
But just like fine wine, it hits that spot after.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. It works its way in. It starts slow because it puts the character development at a almost 0.
Because that's all he was. He was like simple, straight. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
He was on a mission to just do this one thing.
Yep.
When he realized that was the mistake, that's when the development starts.
Yes, that is exactly when the development starts. But the key there is there's still personality around him.
True.
Uncle Merrill, EO.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah. Okay. You remember I told you that I had to put the book down at some points? Yeah, that was one of them.
Oh, really?
I was pissed. Like, I was legitimately mad. Not necessarily at the writer, because I could kind of...
He wanted to get...
It wasn't a bad start. Like,
No,
it wasn't a bad place to start from a writing perspective.
Yeah, he wanted the emotion to kick in.
From a reader's perspective, oh gosh, it put me in a fit of rage. My friend who recommended this book to me, we had taken, it was a long trip for a group, and so I got a audiobook to listen to on the way. I didn't end up listening a whole lot, but so on the way back, I listened to more. Sorry, kind of frog in the throat. But I started listening to it, and then I hit that point, and I was livid, and I couldn't stop talking to her about how livid I was.
You're a very loving person, too.
Yes, I am a very loving person, so watching something like that happen. The other thing for me is it was spoiled for me. Because I Googled EO to see just what she looked like. I wanted an image of what she looked like. Bad idea. Never Google any of the characters until you're done with the book.
Yeah.
Until you're done with the books.
I made that mistake for one book, but I can't remember which one it was.
What character?
Oh, it wasn't in Red Rising. It was like a completely different book.
Okay. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
It's bad. Yeah.
But either way,
Just the Song of Persephone and that entire thing is just a grand thing. And that is why I offered to you. You did a very good job of keeping all your opinions to yourself throughout the week. But I needed someone to vent to at some points, which is why I kept asking how it was going and, like, if you needed to get something out there.
I can usually cope with stress like that for pretty good. Mm-hmm. I think there was one point where I was just about to, but I was like, no. I'm just going to hold it, wait for when we do it.
Okay, so then that was going to be my next question. What were some points that really hit you hard that you almost wanted to come vent to someone?
Well, like I said earlier, the Titus killing, because once that happened, I was like, you just lost the entire House of Mars. Mm-hmm. And then the Cassius moment.
Yes.
I wanted to throw both of them on the ground, tell them they're children, and scold them. Tell them put them in the corner. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then Cassius practically kills Darvo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Up high you rise, in the mud you lie.
See, I can't even quote that because I was so mad.
I'm not sure if that's what he says or that's where the line comes from. I don't remember who says that, but that is a line that's
I'm pretty
fed throughout the book.
Yeah, it sounds like something Cassius would say, though.
It's either Cassius or Fitchner. I want to say it might have been Fitchner.
Actually, it might have been Fitchner, the proctor.
Yes. High you rise, in the mud you lie.
Speaking of the proctors, that's the next part.
Oh, yes. That's
when you find out that the game was rigged from the start.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was like, this is going to rustle someone's jimmies, all right?
Yeah.
And that backfired on the proctors pretty big.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Was not expecting the death of Apollo, though. That was interesting.
Yep.
Well deserved.
But
still. Ooh.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they took up Olympus.
Oh, yeah.
And basically from that point on, I was like, this is just going to keep ramping it up and up and up. And oh, God, it keeps going. Where's this going? He won. That's basically what it dumbed down to.
That's what it dumbed down to, yes, but it was such a built-up moment.
Yeah, and it did not stop.
No. Once it hit that point of running, it doesn't stop. If a ball is rolling, it stays rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Until either everybody's dead or something significant has happened.
And significant is what happened.
Mm-hmm. People had to die to get there, but...
There's a lot of people that died.
There's a lot of people that died.
Pax included.
Pax out tenemos. God.
That one kind of
that one hurt rough. I think that one hits everybody pretty rough.
Because we all knew he was a big, giant, lovable giant.
Yes, because I think that's the first time people like truly realized that nobody's safe.
Nope.
It doesn't matter who you are. Nobody is safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It could come for you at any moment. And anybody and everything can either betray you or kill you.
And everyone was wanting to kill Darvo, practically.
Yep. Everybody wanted to kill Darvo.
I especially wanted to kill Antonia because, oh my God, have I never seen such a weasel.
Screw that bitch. Antonia can go. Gosh.
I know we're going to see her later. I know we are.
Oh, yeah. Her sister's better, though.
I'm glad to hear she has a sister.
Yep.
Well, the other ones I can't remember. Oh, Rogue.
Roke.
Rogue.
Yes.
I call him Ro because it makes me think of a bard.
Yes. Very poetic.
I really did have a little soft spot for him.
Yep.
I'm really glad towards the end, too, that he didn't lose faith in Darvo.
Yep. Yeah. It's a good friendship, that.
Mm-hmm.
Built on lies, but a good friendship nonetheless.
True.
And Darvo thinks he's prime.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a good mix.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I can still see he's forgetting a little bit of his past, because there was a quote back in the first chapters where his, I believe, uncle or someone in the mines told him that if that switchblade that you have is your only lifeline with a stuck limb and your way to freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So, cut off the leg, you live.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came up in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
The jackal.
Yep.
And when the jackal said something like that is just a hand, Darvo actually asked himself, where has he heard that before? And I was like, did he kind of forget?
He might have.
Because he's been going through months.
Yeah, he's gone through a lot. So he might have... He definitely never truly forgot. But when you get so caught up in the moment and so caught up in wanting to do something, sometimes you can just barge into a problem without thinking ahead first. And in this instant, he made a split-second decision that cost him. It's going to cost him for a long time. And that's just the way it turned out. He made a decision, and that's how it turned out. Which I like that impactfulness of the book. It feels like any decision he makes has weight.
It will have consequences.
Yes. There's no right decision either. You're never sitting there going, why don't you do this? You're sitting there going, he's in a lose-lose situation. How in the frick is he going to get out of this?
It's a very good question.
Yeah. It's always a good time. So, thinking about actions having consequences, Pax was one of those consequences.
It was kind of hard, yeah.
Yeah. Just, it's a lot. I don't know anybody that didn't love Pax. He was the big, lovable goofball.
Yeah.
Other than the enemies.
Well, yeah.
But, I mean, he was the big, lovable goofball, the big, loyal goofball. He was loyal to a fault. The Talamanuses are like that. But he pulled it all out on the line, and Darvo made a decision, and the Proctors interfered. Had the Proctors not interfered, there wouldn't have been a problem, but the Proctors interfered. And that is when the ball started rolling, and Darvo's rage came in. He was done.
Yeah.
He was done. Pax was dead. He wasn't having it no more. He was done with.
And they took Mustang too.
Yep.
I think Mustang was when Apollo was about to cut it in the neck.
Yep.
Pax was the trigger for the rage. Apollo didn't help anything by interfering and telling them Mustang's taken. That just fueled the rage.
Yep.
And I honestly think if Apollo didn't interfere, he probably would have just fell down. He lost and all that.
Yeah.
But Apollo had to interfere.
Apollo had to interfere. And it turned out poorly for him.
How many times was he stabbed in the face?
Too many.
Ugh. He died, so.
Yeah. He died really hard. The reveal of the boots, that was pretty prime. You saw it coming.
Yeah.
You very much saw it coming, but you're like, when is he gonna use them? Because I know he's got them.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's got them.
And he knew he was going to use that moment.
Yep. And he came down, grabbed his howlers, brought them up to Olympus, and they went nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Just the taking of Olympus and then the finishing of the games was...
The joining of Augustus's house.
Yes. That was a large moment.
Also, I would say it was a big mistake, but I understand where he's going with it.
Yep. I mean, there's not much he could do.
Mm-hmm.
This current moment, he has sort of a blood feud with the Bolognas.
Now he does, yeah.
So he can't really... And Bologna is the second largest house on Mars. So he had to choose. He had to have a house that had enough clout to keep him safe.
True.
So choosing the Augustuses was not a bad choice. It'll end up rough, more than likely, but...
Considering Servo knows his secret.
Yeah. Severo can guess.
Well, he had... considering he guessed that Darvo killed Julian by just looking at his face, asking one question, that's it.
Yep.
That boy knows intuition like no other.
Yep. But who would think... The thing is about his secret is that who would think a red to be carved of gold?
True.
There's an old saying, if you hear hoofbeats outside, it could be zebras, but it's probably horses. Which means a lot of people are going to assume that it's horses, even if it is zebras.
It's actually pretty, yeah, that's pretty appropriate for this.
Yeah. So, no matter how many times he thinks someone knows something throughout the book, it's easy to see that for them, they just see a gold. That's all they see. Now, with enough hints, I'm sure they might be able to see that he's a zebra. But
then again, he might be what was that breed? It has like zebra and donkey. I know what that is. I can't think of it.
I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about, dude.
There is a breed of horse out there that's like a crossbreed. Z-donk, yes.
Thank you. So, yeah.
That's basically what he is, though.
Yep. He is. And it gets more prominent throughout the next couple books.
Okay.
Especially as he gets more comfortable and grows up in his gold body. Which brings us around to the carving. So, what did you think of Dancer and Holiday?
Holiday?
Is that who that was?
The girl?
Yeah. I think it's such a long journey of a book that it's sometimes hard to remember all the way back.
I cannot remember. Let's go with Holiday for now.
I think so. Let me look it up real quick.
But I didn't really care for them, actually. They just didn't seem like they were just there to get him into the position. That's about it.
They were just there to get him ready. To get him in place.
And they're going to be more important later on, but right now there just doesn't seem like... It seems like they're going to be very one-sided. They're not going to expect any golds to be thinking like there needs to be change or whatnot. They're just going to be like, no, all golds are bad. That's all there is to it.
Nope. It's not Holiday. Let's see. Holiday is someone else. Holiday is someone you haven't met yet. Harmony.
Oh, it is Harmony.
Yes. Not Holiday, Harmony. That's my bad.
Yeah, Harmony I didn't care for. Dancer, don't care for.
Yeah. Dancer was nice. I liked Dancer, but I also... There was very much a lot of... They didn't know what they were doing. And so they were just following orders, I guess you could say. But also just... There was a lot going on that you just didn't know. And that was true to form. This is told by one person's perspective. The entire book, the entire series is told by one person's perspective, which for some books is unheard of. And for more fantasy-based books, it is more prominent to have just the one point of view.
It kind of makes it easier, too.
Yeah. But you also have no idea what's going on behind that one point of view.
I could give you some hints, but I haven't read the other books to tell you if they're right or not.
Give me your guesses. Give me your hypotheses.
The Sons of Ares, where Dancer and Harmony are part of, they're going to fraction off. Not like completely break up or whatnot, but there's going to be some conflict between them because they're not in the gold perspective. They're only in the red perspective.
Yep.
So there's going to be a lot of misinterpretations. There's going to be a lot of, not betrayal, but another word for it I can't think of. And it's just going to be an entire cluster of just nonsense. Things could be revised to where they can be better communicators. That's basically what I'm saying.
Okay.
Don't tell me if I'm right or wrong. Don't even hint it.
Nope.
Because I want to read it for myself.
Yep. You've got to experience some of these things for yourself. Like I could have told you that Pax dies.
Yeah.
And then it's sad. But truly experiencing Pax's death is a monumental and key experience throughout.
And several other characters too.
Yep. When Antonia kills what's her name? That's impactful. Mustang taking care of Darrow. We've been saying Darvo, it's Darrow.
Where am I thinking Darvo? Oh, that's a game. Gosh darn it.
You have me on Darvo. I knew it was Darrow. I just wasn't thinking about it.
Maybe it was a little bit of the accent too. It was screwing me up a bit. Because
Yeah.
I when he ever said the name, I was like, is there a V in there?
No, it's just
Okay.
Darrow.
All right, that's my fault.
Yep.
It hurt.
Any other predictions? Any other thoughts?
Well, I don't know what Mustang's going to do. He's going to face Cassius again at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're going to eventually make up, I highly doubt it, but there's a small chance. Servo is going to be a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Although I can see there's going to be some conflict between him and Darrow.
Yep.
But it's going to be made up pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Augustus is going to ever find out right off the bat, or if he's going to find out in like the third book, or when he's going to find out. Maybe he's just completely stupid.
I wouldn't call him stupid, but like I said,
he's a man. He's a Grand Duke. He's not stupid.
yes,
But I'm just thinking maybe he's arrogant enough not to notice right away.
not to notice right away. Yep, to not see, to not look outside
Yeah.
and see the zebra.
Can't think of any others right now.
Mustang.
Like I said, I don't know what Mustang's going to be like.
You don't know what Mustang's gonna be like.
Well, she threw me through a curve with not betraying Darrow.
Yep.
So I'm like, what's her goal?
What is?
She wants change, obviously, but I couldn't tell you where she's going with that.
Yep.
Especially since she is the daughter of Augustus, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious she wants change. She doesn't want the same thing that Augustus wants, her father. But I don't know where she's going.
Nope.
Obviously, she's a love interest to Darrow, so we're going to see her again. Whether it's just in the second book or in both books, I'll see.
Yep. There's a lot to unpack with Severo and Mustang, and there's a lot of people in the second book you need to meet.
Okay.
That'll be good, but Severo and Mustang are
They're the major characters.
yes,
Okay.
are two of the major characters, at least for now.
Foreboding, but okay.
Yep. You haven't met probably my favorite character in the season yet. In the series yet. You'll meet him. Yeah, you'll meet him in the second book.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta read the second book.
Well, I gotta get paid first.
Yep.
But hopefully by Thanksgiving, Christmas, I might be able to get it going.
I don't know. I might be able to gift it to you again.
Nah. I get
No?
paid soon.
Okay. Yeah, I really love Severo, as I'm sure all Howlers do.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, is what the fans are called. They're called Howlers.
Right.
But I don't know. There's something about this character that really just
He's kind of the underdog of the Golds.
yes, he is.
Because he basically had no chance. He was going to be just bait for whoever he killed.
Yep, pretty much.
And then all of a sudden he's out here, he's doing his stuff. The only bad thing that's really happened to him was stabbed in the eye.
Yeah, he lost an eye,
But
he took great humor in it.
yeah,
He was quite upset with the jackal over that.
who wouldn't be, honestly?
Yeah. Yep. And it was very much, he is a fantastic character. he's very crass, very just out there. He's a special kind of someone.
Okay. I will like to enjoy him further on. For as long as he's living, at least. Because I know the foreboding parts in your voice and your face.
But how do you know I'm not leading you astray?
Because you're easy to read, I'm not going to lie.
That one's a good one.
I know it's interesting by the look in your eyes, but I will find out for myself.
Rogue is a good one, too.
Oh, we get to see more him?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
You get to see more Rogue. Rogue is good. Cassius's journey is good. Yeah. You haven't met Victoria yet.
Nope, I have not.
Her journey is good, but her journey is... Her journey is a little rough.
Yeah, everyone gets a rough ride once in a while. But anyway, what's the second book called again?
Golden Sun.
Alright, that's one I need to get.
Yeah.
I will read that, and maybe we'll let you guys know what happened next time.
Yes. Golden Sun. Golden Sun is like the Empire Strikes Back of the Red Rising trilogy. So it's the middle one that's considered pretty close to the best.
Okay.
I'm not saying that like plot-wise it's similar. I'm saying more just like as far as being the middle of the trilogy and being considered one of, if not the best of the trilogy, is pretty common. People tend to like Golden Sun a lot.
Okay.
Morning Star, I'm not sure. Being on the fandom, it gets talked about a lot, mostly just because of certain parts in it. But when you see pictures of like people taking pictures, it's either of the first book, which is because it's the first book, and of Golden Sun. Because the cover art for Golden Sun is cool. Morning Star, for me, I don't know. Morning Star for me was fantastic. I loved every moment of it. It almost made me cry. But I don't know if I would consider it my favorite. I might consider Morning Star my favorite book of the three. I don't know. It's hard to choose between the three.
Well,
you've only read one. So.
Yeah. I'll let you know what my favorite is afterwards.
Yeah. So, what did you think of my comparison to like a Game of Thrones, high fantasy, sci-fi?
Well,
I shouldn't say high fantasy, but sci-fi. You haven't gotten super far into the sci-fi, mostly because they kind of started over at the Academy. They went down to sticks and rocks and worked their way up to ion weapons and...
Well, I could definitely see the Game of Thrones aspect. I don't know how well it's going to turn out Game of Thrones-wise comparison for our next two books. But first book, yeah, I can definitely see it.
Yeah.
Definitely see Hunger Game aspects, Ender Game aspects.
Yeah.
A lot of game aspects.
That's mostly just the first one, because it's the Academy.
Yeah.
It has a lot in common with like the Hunger Games kind of style of fight to survive.
Yeah, which is kind of the trope a lot of people try to go for, but only if you can actually pull it off.
Yeah.
Pierce Brown, he pulled it off.
Oh yeah, he pulled it off really well. And made you feel almost every death.
Yeah.
The death of Oh gosh, it's been so long since I read the books. Cassius's brother,
Julian.
That was a rough one too.
Yeah, I knew it was coming though, because Julian was being really friendly to Darrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I feel bad? Kind of.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah.
Comparatively, he was a good soul.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to Cassius, but Cassius, I'd say, is a good soul, but
He's not a twisted soul. He's a hurt soul. There we go.
he's a hurt soul. Yes, he's definitely hurting, and Darrow just made it worse.
Yeah.
It's not like Darrow could have stepped forward and said, "Hey, I killed your brother."
Yeah, because comparison to what it could have been, he could have been in dirt long ago. Mm-hmm. Everything would have just been just complete and utter crap.
Yep. And
the Jackal would have won.
Yeah. And that's the interesting thing to think about, is how things could have turned out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he hadn't survived, what would Mustang have done? What would everyone else have done? Mustang wouldn't have been able to gather all those people by herself. They needed someone strong.
A legend. There we go.
A legend. They needed a legend. And as far as legends were concerned, Cassius didn't have a legend.
No. Mars had the legend of
the Reaper. And that was the two primary sections, is you had two legends. You had the Jackal and you had the Reaper. Because of his sling blade.
Mm-hmm.
And the Jackal's just overwhelmingly crazy nature.
Twisted nature, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'd call it twisted because crazy is kind of a friendlier term, in my opinion. Insane's a step level, but twisted, that's when you start going into that territory.
Yeah. Twisted is a good way of putting it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta read the second book, or listen to the second book.
I will. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There's a couple parts that you might have to hit me up just to vent.
Okay.
There's some of those parts in every book, but like for me, I put the book down when Io died.
Mm-hmm.
That was rough for me. But then I picked it up, and I don't think I really stopped. I put the book down after the first book because I was like, this is so perfect, I don't want to go into the second book. I just want it to end here and be happy.
But then you had questions.
But then I had questions as to how it would turn out, and it turned out entirely different than what I was expecting.
Really?
Yes. Well,
for the most part.
For the most part. For the first half of the book.
Okay.
And then once the ball started rolling, then it really kicked off.
Okay.
To where I could be like, okay, I kind of see what's coming, and then I couldn't see what's coming.
You thought there was
You never see what's coming.
Oh, was there a cave-in at the end, I see.
I wouldn't call it a cave-in.
It's just going to hit.
It's just going to hit.
Okay.
Really
Fair
rough.
enough.
It's going to be rough. And then the first part of book 3 is rough. And the middle part. The ending for me fell a little flat, but that's because I kind of saw the ending coming. A lot of people put down the book close to the end. A lot of people, or at least the people that I've met that have read the book or listened to the books, they put down the book at like PAX, and they have to hold on and come back later just because of how out of the blue. It comes from nowhere, and it's heart-wrenching.
I kind of saw it because he was getting a lot of screen time per se before the big reveal of the Jackal, and I was like, this doesn't feel right.
This doesn't feel good.
This is gonna hurt, isn't it? Later, yep, it hurt.
Yep, it hurt. It hurt a lot. Yeah, it's. Yeah, let's put it this way. This isn't really a spoiler, though. But I was talking about favorite characters, and I'm looking up his name right now because he is my favorite character, but for the life of me right now, I cannot remember his name, and I don't know why.
Oh, it spoils, man.
It's not a huge spoiler, and I won't say his name. I just wanted to look it up.
Okay.
Just for my sake. But for you, we talked about D&D the other week. And you know Clark?
Who can forget Clark, the high-fiving bugbear?
Okay. Clark's personality is based off of this character.
Oh, gosh.
Yes. It's...
Are you sure Clark's not a Pax?
There's some Pax in Clark, too.
Okay.
There's a little bit of the Talamanuses in Clark.
Okay, fair enough.
I took a lot of inspiration from different characters in this series after I finished reading it, because we had been doing D&D before I had read these things. So
okay,
why can I not find you?
But either way, what else would you like to know? I think we got like one more question in us.
Yeah. I don't know. Final thoughts about going through the book. Just final thoughts of anything.
Well, let's see here. My final thoughts would have to be, going into the first part, I was seeing a lot of similarities that other books would have. Seeing the same underdog and seeing the same good conflict you have to rise up against, rebel, yada, yada, yada. And then it changed. And like I said earlier, it was when Titus died by the hands of, technically, Cassius.
Mm-hmm.
But it was at that part where it was like, something changed. And with that change, I think it was for the best. Maybe not for that moment specifically.
Yep.
But from then on, I started actually paying attention to the character development, which I noticed it actually started picking up better.
Yep.
So if there's anything that I'd have to give it A+ on, I'd have to give it an A+ on surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does give you a lot of it gives you a lot of information that the characters see coming, but then Arthur throws a monkey wrench into your plans. And I have to give him props because that's very hard to do.
And do it convincingly and doing it without it feeling cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like cheap twists. And because the whole thing is full of twists and turns.
Mm-hmm.
For me, he did a very good job of not having, like... He constantly developed. It was like, okay, I think he's getting to a good spot with Darrow. I could see the book writing out on this. No, he was constantly involving Darrow.
Mm-hmm.
Darrow did not stop growing. One time you thought he learned his lesson for leadership.
He didn't.
And then the next time you're like, oh shit, I was just as naive.
I won't go that far, but
No, I wouldn't go that far either. But I'm saying, like,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
like I felt like his character development was done for the book, and they were just going to ride out on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they still just keep building, and it was constantly changing lessons. It was throwing out things, and the big thing for me is it doesn't take a stance on any of them.
Mm-hmm.
It basically was like, other than the fact that this system is wrong, it didn't take a stance on what system was right.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, it wasn't really making any like political statements or any crazy things from the book. It was telling a really good story.
It's giving you different perspectives, even though you're looking through one.
Yes.
And that's pretty impressive.
It's very impressive. And just from going from his rage-induced self to just starting to be a leader, learning what leadership is actually about, figuring out how to lead, then leading by example, failure at leadership, turning into a lesson learned, that since he survived, it was a lesson learned. And then it continued to grow on, okay, let's do this. And then he makes a mistake. Someone dies, and he has to learn from that.
Mm-hmm.
He makes a mistake. He almost dies. He has to learn from that. He makes a mistake. Pax dies, and the ball gets rolling. At some point, I'll probably go back to the book and just listen to the taking of Olympus, because that is one of the key positions in this book, and it is by far and away one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
But the rough part about it is what it is preceded by. It's hard to go back to it because the ball started rolling with Pax.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah. Those are really my final thoughts for the first book, is that the constant development, the constant building and changing, the evolving of the character, you actually see it, and he actually acts as if he's learned. He acts in a different way. By the end of it, you wouldn't say he's necessarily wise, but he's become wiser.
Mm-hmm.
He's not as naive as he once was.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
Yes. It's a very good thing. So, with that, I'm excited for you to read the next two books,
I cannot wait.
as both of them are very good. You might want to make sure you have some leftover money, because I had to jump straight from book 2 into book 3. I literally went, nope, I'm not stopping here, and bought it and jumped straight into book 3.
Good thing Christmas money's coming.
Yep. In any event, I think that's where we'll sign off for today.
All right, and hopefully by next time or so, we'll actually have a new logo.
Yeah.
So you guys look forward to that now.
All right. See ya.
Goodbye.
Bye.